Warning, there is a good chance Bitcoin Mike has no idea what he's talking about. Do your own research. Enjoy the show. Thank you. All right, folks, let's take a look at the markets today. We're getting a little bit of a pump. That's probably because the stock market's up a little bit. Bitcoin coming at 16,800, BNB back up to 250, and Cardano hanging out at about 25 cents. Let's talk a little Sam Bankman-Fried. So, per my video yesterday, Sam Bankman-Fried, his lawyer wanted him to fight the extradition. For whatever reason, his lawyer wanted Sam Bankman-Fried to stay in the Bahamas. I guess there's some legal move regarding that. But Sam Bankman-Fried is like, no. This Bahamas prison is absolutely despicable. I mean, it's a third world shithole. So now Sam Bankman-Fried is defying the advice of his lawyer, and he wants back in the United States. So here's what's going on with that.
It is expected to surrender to U.S. extradition. That's in a court hearing that may be getting underway in the Bahamas. Let's go to Kate Rooney, who can fill us in on exactly what is going on right now. Kate.
Hey, David. Yeah, so court is back in session in the Bahamas after a pretty chaotic hearing there yesterday. We're told by NBC News that Sam Bankman-Fried has not arrived quite yet. Unclear if the former FTX CEO will be there in person today, but his Bahamas-based lawyer did show up. Today's hearing follows a pretty chaotic one yesterday. Bankman-Fried was widely expected to waive
Man, I just noticed my hair is completely fucked up. Oh my God. Huh. Let me know in the comments if you think I need a haircut at this point.
extradition and be immediately sent to the U.S. That didn't happen. Instead, there appeared to be a disconnect and a lack of communication between his Bahamian and American legal teams. His U.S. attorneys declined to comment, but NBC News also tells us that both sides voiced confusion yesterday in that courtroom. The hearing had been scheduled so Bankman-Fried could accept extradition, but his lawyer said that his client first wanted to see the indictment against him before making any decisions. And the local defense attorney said he was surprised to even see Bankman-Fried in the court at all. At the end of the day, his local attorney told Reuters and some local reporters that his client had agreed to extradition voluntarily, defying, quote, the strongest possible legal advice. That is what we expect today. So a source confirmed.
Yeah, so Sam Bankman-Fried just wants out of that jail. Like, this is pretty much what I've been saying. I mean, and I actually think that's smart. There's no there's no reason, like, if you're Sam Bankman-Fried, you want to be in this third world jail. I showed some pictures the other day. It's probably one of the worst prisons in the world. I mean, all these third world country jails are horrible, but this jail is notorious, the Fox Hill jail. So Sam Bankman-Fried could be back in the USA by tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, possibly the weekend. Then he'll go into probably a holding facility in New York City or New York State, and then they'll kind of go from there. I actually think one of the jails he might be in is the one where Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. But either way, I mean, I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes and think what I would rather do. I'd much rather be in a U.S.-based prison. You know, little wimpy guys like Martin Skagel of the the pharmaceutical guy. He was like a little wimpy guy. Kind of looked like Sam Bankman-Fried, although he wasn't like as dorky. He actually had a little bit of charisma. He survived 5 years there. So he'll be in a place where there's a lot of federal prisoners. And the one thing about federal prisoners, there's very few murderers in federal jail, at least murderers who are arrested for murder. You get a lot of drug dealers in federal jail. And that's kind of, you're getting a less violent group. You're getting a lot of white collar people there. So that is definitely a better place, I think, for Sam Bankman-Fried. Anyway, so that's the Sam Bankman-Fried news. I want to do a little bit. I haven't done too much on Gareth Soloway anytime soon, but let's get a little bit of words of wisdom from Gareth Soloway. He thinks the Bitcoin bottom is very, very close. He thinks Bitcoin is going to bottom before stocks. Bitcoin bottoms first, then stocks, then Bitcoin will go up from there in crypto. I've been saying I think we're really, really close. I've been a big follower of Gareth Soloway and Richard Hart for a while, but let's get a little bit of words of wisdom from Gareth Soloway.
Bearish as I was when we were at 65 to 69,000, I would say I'm lukewarm now on Bitcoin.
Okay.
It doesn't mean I think the bottom is in, but you're right. Let's take a look at the chart of Bitcoin. This is something I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
So Here we have, this is the drop on the Terra Luna collapse. And we dropped from about 31,000 and change down to about 17 and change. And so that drop was about 40+%. Now, if you look at the collapse of FTX, Bitcoin only dropped 25%. And so you could argue that FTX was a much bigger blow up in terms of institutional money being involved and kind of the earthquake that it caused, yet Bitcoin dropped less. And so to me, I take that as a signal that says, okay, it's not the end yet, but we're getting there. And so a couple of the analysis points. So number one, I looked at the comparisons of FTX's blow up and the Lehman Brothers collapse in '08, noticing again, Lehman was a bank, it collapsed. An exchange, FTX, kind of like a bank, but in crypto, it collapsed. Now, how long did the S&P 500 take to bottom after Lehman Brothers? And the answer is it took about 6 months. So then extrapolate that out and say, okay, in 6 months from now, we might be seeing the bottom in Bitcoin. And the reason you can kind of extrapolate this out is because human emotion, you could say, oh, well, that's stocks, this is crypto. But the answer is it's all the same. And the reason it's the same is because humans, you and me, we're the buyers and sellers. And does your emotion change? Does my emotion change? No, greed and fear. It's what rules the market. So you can really extrapolate that out. And the last thing I'll say is the S&P, when Lehman collapsed, fell another 45% from that point, from that collapse, before it bottomed in March '09. In that case, we should see Bitcoin fall approximately 45% more from approximately that, breakdown level around 18,000 and change. To me, that gives me a target just below 10,000. And keep in mind that max pain is caused when even numbers are broken. You'll see a ton of stops run at 10,000.
Anyway, that's Gareth Soloway. I agree with that. I think, we're at 16,000 right now, 17,000. I think we're probably going to see a flash crash. I think what's going to happen is we're going to be in a bearish area. Because keep in mind, we have another year until the halvening. So in the next couple months, we're going to fall down to $15,000 or $14,000. We'll be there for a little bit. People are going to be like, okay, we're at bottom, it's bottom, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to see just some flash crash down to like $12,000, $11,000. I don't think we're going to go as far as 10, but it's possible. And I think that's going to be it for Bitcoin. You're really starting to feel the max pain right now. You can see the max pain coming. People are really starting to get bearish, but people just aren't bearish enough. And I really do think we're going to see that Cardano now, unfortunately, under 20 cents, Theta under 50 cents. And I'm just looking to buy, folks. I'm only human, so of course it does hurt when you see your favorite assets drop that much. But remember, I've already lived through this once before. I was shitting my little panties during COVID. I can tell you I was scared shitless and I was selling stuff. And by me selling stuff, I've said this before, by me selling stuff during the COVID dump, I lost probably $100,000. So I'm not making that mistake again. And by me trading in and out of coins during dumps, I probably lost another $100,000. Not doing that anymore. So I've learned from my mistakes. I'm not, a dumb dog. I'm a smart dog. And I'm not going to do what I did before. And that's why I'm not selling anything right now. I'm just buying the dumps. I know there's a lot of dumb dogs out there. Every time we get a dump, they sell, and then we pump back up and they buy back in, and then we dump again, and they're like, what the hell is going on here? That's not me anymore. I was that dumb dog a couple years ago, but no more. So all I'm doing right now, it's a simple thing. A retard can do what I'm doing. I have money on the side, and every dump I allocate more funds into my favorite cryptos, Theta, Cardano, a little bit of Bitcoin, things like that. So, and that's all you can do. That's all you have to do. It's so easy, but it's easier said than done, because when we're down to $12,000, $13,000, a lot of people right now who you think are strong hands are going to sell their entire bag. And then the minute they hit the sell button, they're going to go into the bathroom and take a piss. They're going to come out and check again, and it's going to pump right back up. I've seen it. I've done it. I've lived it. I'm not making these mistakes anymore. If Bitcoin all goes to zero, that's fine. But, I'm not making this next bull market going into 24. I'm not going to look back and have mistakes. Maybe I'll have one big mistake where everything went to zero and I lost everything, but that's fine because at least I tried. I'm not going to have that mistake where I sold or I didn't buy or I was too scared to do this, too scared to do this. I have a plan and I'm sticking to it. Cardano 25 cents. I actually bought a little bit last night, not much. My next giant buy level for Cardano is 20 cents. Giant buy level. And that's basically what I'm doing. Bitcoin under $14,000, I'll probably start nibbling if we get there. If not, I'm happy with the amount of Bitcoin I have as of right now. But we're getting close to that bottom. But unfortunately, we still have another year until the halving, or a little, actually more than a year. And a lot can happen in a year. So I do think we're going to see some crazy ass volatility in the next year. Pumps, dumps, and fake outs. You know, what's a fake out? Well, you know, we go up to $25,000 and people are like, bear market over. And that's when all the dumb money's going to come in that sold all their coins. They're like, oh, I sold all my coins at 15,000. Now I can start buying back in. We're back up to 25,000. And then everything dumps right back down to 15,000 again. And that's how you lose so much money in crypto, by just buying and selling, trying to time it. I'm not doing any of that. So we're going to see a lot of fake outs over the next year. We're going to see a lot of pumps and dumps. We're going to see a lot of volatility. But going into 2024, near the halving, we're going to see Bitcoin back up to $50,000, hitting $100,000, Cardano passing its all-time high of $3, $5, Theta back up to $10, $15. And unfortunately, that's not for another year. So we're going to have a long year, but it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a roller coaster ride year. And that's the way you have to look at it. And like and subscribe. All right, thanks. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the new subscribers, and I'll do another one tomorrow. Take it easy.